Welcome, everybody. Hello. Happy morning, afternoon, depending upon where, I guess it is afternoon, regardless of where we are now. So thank you all for joining the session. I am so excited to be introducing this session. So namely because there are 4 amazing women participating in this.
I hate you.
Anyway, but truly, when there was an opportunity to intro a session, I really thought to myself, wow, let's see if there's one with Bob, because Bob and I admire each other's work so much that I thought, what a wonderful gift to be able to tell the world that he's great and we're lucky to have him. And really, I think he doesn't need much more of an intro. So, and everybody else who is part of this session today, it's been a nice little moment to get to know them, and it's just fun to see how many small connections we have with everybody. You just never know, but there's so many just minor degrees of separation. So, Bob, thank you for hosting this and doing such a great job. We love working with you, and I'm excited to see some videos. So.
Well, you've come to the right place. And thank you for that nice introduction, my old friend. And thank you for MCR's support of this conference. I get tired saying it, but it's absolutely true that without the sponsors, I mean, everybody knows they're getting into this conference dirt cheap. And it's partly because of all the sponsors who help make this possible. So thanks to you and all the fine Cleveland folk of MCR for your support. I'm going to click a few more people in, including my friend Sasha, who was the speaker I was looking for. So for years, I've been thinking we've reached a tipping point with having a session like this. Anybody who has watched me as long as someone like Christina has knows that my usual MO at conferences is not to pontificate too much myself, but it's really just to show a whole bunch of examples and ideas of what's going on at other places. And so, hey, Christina, if I make you...
I was just going to say, do you want to make me host?
Let's do that.
Be happy.
This is, there you go, against my better judgment. There you are. You know, my usual MO is to stand up and show a bunch of letter samples or a bunch of Giving Day ideas, and I'm just kind of in some ways a pollinating bee for a lot of best practice and latest innovations. Did 3 books for Case, one of which is propping up my other laptop here. This little baby is almost 20 years old now. The first book I ever did for Case, Innovations in Annual Giving. Do not buy it. There is nothing innovative left in this book after 20 years. I think it's even out of print. This may be the only copy remaining. But so I try not to be seen as old annual giving guy if I can help it, and just to keep aware of who's pushing the envelope with multiple channels and multiple messages, and just who's doing something clever that deserves some recognition. Obviously, video became an important part of what we do, you know, an increasingly long time ago. The trick was that I couldn't figure out how to put videos in my PowerPoints until now, I think. And so I finally have achieved sort of critical mass in thinking about how to talk about what's a good video, samples that I've collected of good videos, what the definition even is of a good video. And so thanks for indulging me in what is really a first of its kind presentation for me. I have a bunch of folks who are going to join us to talk about their videos, the aforementioned, the people who made them videos. Kaylin Merritt from Thankview is also going to join me. Her buddy, JD Beebe, is doing a session, I think tomorrow, right, Kaylin? To show off all the Thankview videos that they've collected themselves. So this isn't to try and crash their party. In fact, I've been talking to Kaylin and JD about things that I could show that go in a different direction in some ways than what the Thankview thank you award winners look like. But we wanted to talk about personal one-to-one videos as part of this chat. And so we'll bring Kaylin in to show off a couple of things that they have gotten in at ThankView. You know the drills at this point. Feel free to use the chat, but appreciate that Christina's monitoring it, so we may not get to any chat questions at all. And I'll admit the latest people into the waiting room. Nice work, Christina. And then put things in the chat. If there's any links of videos that you want to share with people, put those in the chat too. Just cut and paste a YouTube URL or whatever. Don't let anybody else get unfair credit for an idea that you're doing better and earlier than they ever did. And I've really become appreciative of the chat as sort of a parallel resource in a conversation like this. And so happy to have people slightly distracted cutting and pasting things in the chat. And then otherwise, if you have something to say and don't want to be restricted to the chat, I'm happy to have you turn on your screen and turn on your microphone and you know, make this a celebration of video by itself, right? Okay. Let me see if I can actually get this technology to work. I've grouped a couple of categories here, and to my friends who will be joining me, this is also your little bit of heads up on when I will come looking for you in this session. I think we've really evolved, haven't we, from videos just being a victory to get them produced at your institution, and sometimes the annual giving team is last in line with the marketing and communications office. I think when we started doing videos, they tended to all be commercials, kind of, right? And that was almost the criteria to make it look like a commercial. And yet we never really had any measure for who might have been tuning out because this just felt like a commercial and this didn't feel like the emotional connection I have with my institution. But it was a victory that we got it made at all, right? And so, you know, for a while I was showing commercial looking things at case conferences, and that got a lot of oohs and ahs and people saying, boy, I wish we had the communication staff that could do one of those for us. And then things started to evolve a little bit, and I saw for the first time somebody film a personal appeal to their classmates, asking them to join them with a gift. I saw a university that stitched together a bunch of students saying thank you to all of our donors this year. And we started to, you know, wean ourselves away from let's do a commercial and really understanding how to use video as a powerful reminder of the connections that people have with their institutions, and doing things that sort of transcended what I can do with a paper letter or with a phone-a-thon caller and things like that. So we'll check off all these boxes as we go, and you know, I would bet most of the people tuning in today already have some kind of year in the life of uses of video, whether it's person to person or broader appeals. But these are all the things that we want to check off, in addition to some other things that we want to look at from my friends at ThankView and elsewhere. Okay, cross your fingers. Let's give this a try. This is Catholic University. This is one of the oldest videos that I have in my collection. And let's see if I get this to work. Somebody, Christina, give me a thumbs up if this is coming through okay, but let's give it a try. This was a competition among student groups to see who could come up with the best donor stewardship video. Do you hear the little jazzy music in the background?
Thank you.
Thank you for your ongoing contribution.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, alumni.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your donations. You've helped make CUA a better place.
Thank you, alumni.
Thank you from KTG.
Gracias.
Danke.
Thank you for your donations and your generosity and your support.
Thank you.
Thanks for helping out CUA softball
And CUA track.
Thank you.
Thanks for your donations. They really help us out.
CUA alumni, we miss you. You're the best. Thank you for all your support. Amen.
Okay, so there's nothing all that wow about that video now, but 15 years ago when that was new, that was pretty cool. And there was a couple of great takeaways from that. Showing all those student faces, the fact they got student organizations to buy into trying to design one of those and compete with each other. And 15 years ago, that was something that made you sit up straight and take notice that, wow, this is something different from a commercial. It wasn't even just asking for a gift. It was a stewardship thing, which we hadn't seen before. And so that to me was a sea change in how we thought about video. Here is, no, don't show that again. Show this guy. This is a guy at Assumption College. This is also a 15-year-old video. And this is the first time I ever saw a peer volunteer asking classmates to make a gift. Up until this moment, peer-to-peer fundraising was you write a class agent letter, right? Or you get all of the classmates to come down to your phone-a-thon room for 1 or 2 nights and call their classmates from the index cards. That's how you kept all the record of alumni. So watch this guy, and again, this pales in comparison to some of the things that Kaylin's going to show you in a few minutes, but this was the first of its kind and really was the beginning of a big sea change in how we think about video as a channel. Let's give this a try.
Hello friends and classmates from Assumption. It's John DePietro from the class of 72. I'm up on campus today dropping off my check to the Alumni Fund. Believe it or not, I'm one of the class agents and one of the last to give, but if you fall into the same category, don't fear, because all you have to do is click on the blue link elsewhere in this email and you can make your gift via credit card and or bank draft or whatever. But hey, you might even get miles with it. But don't be fearful of giving late. So many of the gifts come in the last few minutes, in the last few hours of the campaign. So feel free to click on that link and do me a huge favor. Do it before you click out of this email. You'll feel great. And I get to keep my job as a volunteer. So thanks so much, and we look forward to having you respond. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Miles, what am I going to do with Miles?
Hello.
So that guy, by the way, was not asked by Assumption College to do that. He, on his own volition, had the idea that he wanted to send a video to his classmates, and Assumption was smart enough not to say no, you couldn't. But to me, that was the original peer-to-peer video appeal, and it was John DePietro who had to talk Assumption College into doing it. As you might imagine, he's a pretty passionate class agent anyway, and so all of his classmates all chuckled when now John's on video, how do I make it go away, right? And as you can also imagine, they've got some of the highest alumni class giving participation of any class at Assumption College. So here's another old example, and then I promise we'll get into more modern day videos. This is another thing that is at least 15 years old from Western Illinois University, and this is an idea that was ahead of its time by at least 10 years. And this was a letter that they sent out that had this student asking you to make your gift in support of the fine arts program at WIU. Perfectly nice. This old book I have that I did for Case actually has a letter in it that looks just like that format, which was probably copied and stolen from that book. But look at the clever thing that they have down in the bottom corner there. Also way ahead of its time was a QR code. And when some of us decided to actually put QR codes into letters way back when, the only purpose was to take you to the giving page. You know, we couldn't imagine any other worthwhile use of a QR code other than let's speed up the transaction, right? So WIU was another wow moment for me in that they have a QR code at the bottom of this letter that if you scan brings up a video on your phone so you can see this kid playing his trumpet. So here's some screenshots of the video, but now that I'm feeling my oats about the ability to show videos, I'm going to give it a try and see if we can't see Chris, the trumpet player that was featured in that letter from 15 years ago. All of a sudden now you had two channels, male and video, uniting, right? And that may have been the birth of multi-channel fundraising as we know it. Let's see if we can cue up Chris. This is a 15-year-old video.
Of Western Illinois University. I'm Chris. I want to personally thank you for considering a gift to the School of Music. Annual gifts from former students like you are so important to current students like me, and I hope you will join others who are lending their support this year. You may choose to benefit any or all of the department scholarships, or contribute to the Alumni Band Fund, Jazz Band Fund, or let the School of Music direct your gift where it is most needed. Gifts of all sizes are both needed and appreciated by the department and students like me, but it's your participation that will also make this year's campaign a success. Your generosity is certainly music to my ears.
Very smooth. So the annual giving director was standing behind the camera holding up cue cards with what the trumpet player was supposed to say. And did you catch the shot of the janitor sneaking out of the back of the room while they were filling it? That was the kids' best takes. They decided that that was nice impromptu people movement in the background. Again, that's old. I know a lot of you are doing superior stuff these days, but I want to give credit where credit is due to Western Illinois for way back when, not only thinking about the use of a QR code, but also appreciating the value of a student giving a testimonial and being that, that spokesperson for annual giving. Okay, I think that's the rest from the archive that I wanted to show you. Here's some more recent examples. My friend Catherine Sherrod is joining us, and I'm going to ask her to say a few words about this video. Catherine, are you with us?
I am.
Yeah, good to have you, and thank you very much for joining in for this chat. Catherine's from the Porter God School in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. And Catherine, you know what video this is. Do you want to give us any, do you want to give the clip some, what do they say on the talk shows? Do you want to explain the clip?
Yeah. So this was a video that we did when we were having our 150th anniversary celebration a few years ago. And we did a lot of prep work, went to the archives, dug up tons of pictures and videos just to have for anything we needed throughout the year, whether it was an Instagram post, a Facebook post, an email. And throughout the year, we were doing stories about all sorts of things our kids were doing. Well, this was the video of the actual concert is our Founders Day. And after we filmed that, we thought, that is our watch pair, talks about the school. The school was founded on philanthropy, and we decided for our giving day, we wanted to just pull it all together. School was founded on philanthropy 150 years ago. Let us show you what philanthropy has done and what your children are benefiting from today. And so we were able to actually really nicely pair up an old picture with either a current video or an old picture with a current video, a current picture, putting it all to the music of our choir that you also have a comparison to from about 100 years ago to today. And still one of my favorite videos. We had a record-breaking giving day by using it. Everybody loved it, and it's something I told today, Bob, when you brought it back up, I told our comm director, we got to find a way to use it again, because it really means so much, and it's not dated in terms of what we're doing. We can just add some things to it and keep building upon it. So we love it.
Okay, let's take a look at it. I think I can work this now, and then we'll ask you a couple more questions about it. So Catherine, it's a lovely video, but the thing that I really lasered in on, which you pointed out, was the combination of old, the history of the institution and modern day stuff. And I think video is still an untapped resource to resuscitate some of those old images and some old videos. And my high school in Cleveland, Ohio did something just a couple months ago that I think is genius. They digitized every single yearbook going back to the beginning of school, which opens up all sorts of avenues for my classmates to abuse and make fun of each other because of all the old pictures that they can now look up and laugh at from the old yearbooks. So when I saw your video, that reminds me about how in some ways we've released all of this old content that, you know, is probably sitting behind your desk in the office on some old bookshelf. So that's what I really love about it. And it sounds like it was a success with Giving Day and the anniversary and everything else.
Well, people tend to forget how far things have come, and they're so quick to balk and complain about why aren't we doing this, why aren't we doing that. So for us to be able to go back and say, I just want you to see how far we have come and know that we are still on the same path and we are growing and building. And because if you make that gift that I'm asking you for, we can get there.
Yeah. So Bob's takeaway on this is don't forget that video gives me a new channel to sort of reconnect with some of those old images and memories and content that has been cooped up in our offices, in my opinion, for too long. So thank you for that. Okay, let's see what I got next here. We saw Porter God. My friend David from Minnesota, I think, is also in the house. David, are you with us?
I am.
All right, I'm going to shut this down now that I've learned how to, I think, navigate this. And tell us about what we're going to see. This is Totino Grace High School in beautiful Fridley, Minnesota, right? We have a couple Minnesotans in on this conversation, not counting Christina doing her fist pump over there. Thank you for joining us, and tell us what we're going to see.
Sure. So this video is for our Giving Day that we did last spring. And so it was a month or two after when the pandemic hit, and we started to hear from some of our families about being impacted financially through layoffs and things like that. And so they were very, very worried about continuing to be able to make their tuition payments to continue their child's education at Totino Grace. And so through that, we created an emergency fund. It was, I think, a very common action for a lot of schools. But with this video, we used a few of our faculty and staff members to develop that case for support and really try and tie it into a school theme that we had that year. Every year, our campus ministry department comes up with a theme. And so that year it was Together We Are. And it had to do with unity and everything. And so it really tied well together. And we felt that using a wide array of teachers and our administrators, it really helped connect, both parents and alumni with a familiar face to kind of state that case.
There's a couple of things going on here that drew my attention to this. One is the blatant use of all the faculty and staff members that alumni love and who their emotional connection is with at your institution, right? Second was the messaging specific to the pandemic. So this is how one place pivoted in the midst of everything we had going on a year ago. And then we'll talk about this afterwards, how this is here in part out of love for my low budget institution friends who sometimes declare victory just to produce any video at their shop. So we'll ask David when we come back how this video got made. Okay, let's take a look at this. Share screen, here we go.
Each year on TG Giving Day, Eagles from everywhere come together to support what they love best about Totino Grace High School.
But this year is no ordinary Giving Day. In fact, it might be our most important one yet.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, many Totino Grace families are experiencing unexpected and immediate financial needs.
They're dealing with financial hardship right now due to cutbacks, layoffs, and furloughs, making it difficult for them to make tuition payments.
We will not let them face this alone. This TG Giving Day, join others in our community to be there for our families in need.
When we all come together, we can do amazing things to help others.
Now more than ever, you can make an impact in those students and families' lives who have been impacted by this pandemic through no fault of their own.
Your generosity will make an immediate impact, helping them remain members of the TG community both now and in the future.
If you're able to, this TG Giving Day, please consider a gift of any size to help support our families as they deal with this coronavirus crisis. Because in a time of crisis,
Together, we are all eagles.
Together, we are giving.
Together, we are faithful.
Together, we are better.
Together, we are resilient.
Together, we are stronger with your support.
Very nice work. So let me ask, is it accurate to say you deliberately picked the faculty that everybody loves? And so just to make it even harder to not make a gift to the high school this year, right? Admit it?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we picked from various, as you saw, some were alums themselves, others weren't, but had been there many years. We definitely tried to use that to our advantage.
And I don't mean to overemphasize the budget limitations that you may have to face doing something like that, but did you tell me that you repurposed the campus minister as the videographer?
Yes, yeah. So at that point in time, he had a lot of time on his hands because we weren't doing any service trips or anything like that. And so he stepped up to the plate for us. And so this was, I put the script together on a Google Doc and talked with each teacher about doing this, and then had them all record, either on their iPhone or iPad or what have you. And then he put them all together just with iMovie, I think is what he used. So.
It's a work of art is what it is. So yeah. When you hear about Thank You in a moment and you say, boy, if only we had a media relations department and all that, there is hope that I now, I joke about the samples from 10 years ago, but I don't know that you could have pulled that off 10 or 15 years ago. And so this is becoming something for every man, it sure seems to me. Thank you for talking about that, and a very nice job. Bob's takeaway then is understand the emotional connections in the people at your institution, and be sure you include them in some of your video creativity. And then I also just thought a very nice pivot to talking about the year that we were all in the middle of last year, and at a place where they don't have a whole lot of budget to throw at probably doing any video, not to mention a good annual giving video. So thanks very much for that. Okay, I'm getting my rhythm here. Maybe I shouldn't jinx myself. Let's go back into the slideshow.
Each year,
we already saw him. Nice guy. Okay, this is my friend Sasha from UCLA Health. I saw her enter the room, and this is another very recent contribution. Sasha, are you there? How are you? And thank you for doing this.
Friendly reminder. I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. So Sasha and I had a marvelous chat the other day, and she knows the video that I've got queued up to show everybody here. Would you preview this clip for our audience?
Absolutely. I am so fortunate to be able to work in the fundraising office for the #1 healthcare system in the state of California, go UCLA Health. And it was such an honor and privilege and so overwhelming when the pandemic hit last year to be on the front lines of seeing all of the generosity of our community, both in LA and around the world, pour in. But it left us in annual giving scrambling, trying to figure out how to keep up with everything that was coming in and say thank you to all of the amazing people who had sent money, sent PPE. We had a whole team of people that were not only figuring out how to work remotely, but how to shift everything that we were doing. We had our events team managing food drop-offs and PPE donations and donations of wine. I mean, there was so much stuff that was coming in. Anybody was trying to help however they could, and it was wonderful. And our health leadership was busy trying to take care of a health crisis. So this video came about because our AVC of development stepped up and said, let me put something together that we can send to everybody to say thank you for their amazing support. And that's what Bob's about to show you.
Thank you for that. So this is another kind of new category for me. This is kind of the breaking news, real-time man or woman on the street video. So take a look at this, and then we'll hear a little bit of the rest of the story of what Sasha's doing at UCLA Health. Okay, sharing that, and here we go.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Williams, the Assistant Vice Chancellor for UCLA Health Development, and I just want to say how incredibly moved I am by all of this gift in kind of personal protective equipment, masks, gowns, face shields, everything that's been donated by our community is incredibly inspiring. Thank you so much for everything. This is really what our community is about and Team LA is about. And thank you for our community who's come out to support our UCLA healthcare providers in so many different ways. Everything, every piece matters, and we're just so grateful. Thank you so much.
Okay, so first I want to know, was the crashing noise in the background choreographed on purpose?
I don't believe so. It was a very active warehouse. That warehouse, just to give some context, had been set up by UCLA. They went out, found a space to rent, and set that all up since, like, it had been open for basically a month and a half. They had all of this stuff coming in and needed somewhere to put it all. So we had, I think, 100,000 square feet out there that was set up just to collect the things coming in to help the health system. I believe some of that was shared around the city as needed, but I mean, it was really overwhelming. I just went back to look, and we first sent that video out, it looks like on April 28th. So it was, you know, we'd been home basically for a month and a half at that point, doing nothing but work. I mean, I think our team was working 12, 14-hour days trying to keep everything coming in, moving, and staying in touch with donors. And so this was really an amazing opportunity. Lindsay had been out at the warehouse, was aware of what was going on out there because she had been out helping to manage the donation piece of all of that. And so she and her husband went out on a weekend and filmed that. I think the person filming Lindsay was Carl, who was the warehouse manager. We have some footage of him as well. And they swapped the phone back and forth. And Lindsay texted that to me. And I remember it brought tears to my eyes at the time because it was just, we were so in it and it was all so overwhelming. And that was sort of the first message we had that was like acknowledging everything that had gone on. It was really surreal.
So to me, this is another important kind of video, another step away from video as commercials in our work, and really appreciating the value of feeling like you're right in the middle of what's going on to help people because of your support of UCLA Health. And I now know of campuses, Kaylin will probably be able to talk about this in a minute, where, you know, any donor to a designated purpose, they've got somebody running across campus with a phone to film them in front of, you know, here's where your gift is making an impact to what we do, you know, without the crashing of a warehouse behind it, but the same thing. So when Sasha and I chatted last week, I learned the rest of the story, which is thinking that that we're all now liberated in just doing fun selfie videos, thanking each donor in a one-to-one way. Unfortunately, isn't so simple at the #1 healthcare system in the state of California. Without adding to your misery, would you finish that story?
Yeah, we had sort of hoped that this would be the first of a long series where we'd be able to sort of take these man on the street videos showing donors their impact. Unfortunately, as things got put together, we ran into what I think a lot of people run into when trying to do these videos, which is leadership wants things to have a certain polish, wants things to look a certain way. They're concerned about what they look like on camera. Lindsay's fantastic. Not all of our leadership is as graceful about hopping on camera without lights and professional makeup. And we have a lot of rules in general around the health system about what can and can't be shown, what images are appropriate to be the face of what we do. And so we've had some challenges since then in sort of finding a way to walk those lines.
And we can edit this. We can edit this recording if you'd like.
It's all good. It's all good. We've still managed to have a number of successful videos at a smaller level. Individual programs being able to send these things out, but this sort of broad going to all of our donors, this was sent out to 926 people when we first sent it. We had a 50% open rate on it just about. It was really so impactful at the time, and we just haven't been able to replicate this. And in some ways, that's a good thing. I don't know that we want to be in the position we were in last April ever again.
Right. No, but point well taken. But to me, even though you haven't been able to sort of mass produce these real-time videos, it's still an important evolution for me of where everything was storyboarded and everything was perfectly lit all the time, and to just now see us appreciate the value of an organic message, whether it's a student or whether it's the warehouse or live from your giving day. I think that's in a way sort of right sizing our thinking about the right ways to use video. So good luck with all that. And I love that video. I'm glad to hear that it's gotten a good response. And thanks for everything that UCLA Health has been doing over the past year. And thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, let's see who else we got here. I think. Okay, this is the College of St. Scholastica, which is my friend Aaron Krieger, also from deepest, darkest Minnesota. Aaron, are you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so this is the, I need to take you off of this, don't I, so I can talk to you. Yeah, okay, Bob's getting it. Don't everybody bail out. This is the teaser video for your Giving Day, and what caught my attention about this is how we want to advocate for a variety of things on Giving Days, special designations, special projects. And so to me, that's an open question at the moment. Is that 15 videos on your Giving Day? Is it one that touches on a couple of different points? I don't know what the right answer is to that, but we're going to ask Aaron. Aaron, so this is the teaser Giving Day video that mentions a bunch of different projects. Would you preview the clip for the audience?
Sure. So it's actually interesting. Bob, I don't think I told you this, that years and years and years ago, I was a wedding videographer. So when I joined the annual giving team at St. Scholastica, I probably was starting to force video down our team's throat a little bit to get out there because of my background. But we have a Giving Day coming up actually next week. And traditionally, we're a smaller school, small budget. We used to be solely focused on raising money for our annual fund in the 7 prior Giving Days. Last year was the first day we opened it up to restricted funds, projects across the campus, and it was very successful. So we're carrying it on to this year. And my goal with the videos this year was, one, to create a teaser that just kind of did a quick highlight of various projects working. And I tried to choose projects that kind of spanned the campus. There's no way I could feature 16 plus projects in a video teaser and keep it short enough for social media to be palatable. When you're talking 60 to 90 seconds is the average attention span for folks. So we just grabbed a few that showed the variety of projects going on at our Giving Day. And then we created individual videos for a handful of them. And it's a mix, our individual videos. I hired a professional videographer for a very limited budget because the in-person events this year were canceled. So I was able to divert the money to a professional videographer and got about 6 professional videos done for projects that kind of spanned what you could support at the college. And then I did kind of in-house using Animoto and other things, kind of lower budget videos that I could afford, because I think it's good to have a mix of highly produced but yet authentic videos. And I don't think you can have too many videos on your Giving Day, especially if you're trying to help attract people to an affinity giving kind of situation. Like, what projects do they care about? They want to see, their stories represented in those areas.
So let's take a look at this. I got very excited when we spoke last week, by the way, to hear somebody else was still using Animoto other than me. Remember, we started as just promoting Giving Day, and that was like the sole goal, right? Just to get it on people's radar screens. And now you see a lot of crowdfunding piled up with Giving Days, or we've deputized our departments in our schools and colleges to all promote Giving Day from their corner of the campus. So it really is a relevant question, isn't it? What winds up being more video than we can use? But let's take a look at this, and then we'll ask a couple last questions.
So students get a chance to see what it's actually like to work in a research lab, and you get to see and interact with other people in the lab that do it as a full-time job, right? When I asked students about how it went, words like life-changing, or I had no idea what that would be like. Thank you for this opportunity.
The gifts given to us by CSS Day will help cover the cost for the Tapia conference or the Grace Hopper.
We are raising money for dress forms for the costume shop. Your donation to this conference is really going to help a lot of teachers have access to this amazing keynote speaker, and will also help us offer this program in a virtual format.
Your donations to Storms Covered is going to help a lot of CSS students not worry about food.
The money that we receive to support the Beth Just Scholarship will directly benefit our students so that they can follow in those footsteps, in Beth's footsteps. I'm certain that we will see them give back to this profession and this community at large as well.
Okay, so to me, that's a really interesting example of how you start to talk about multiple things all within an umbrella of a Giving Day. And so you sort of already answered the question facetiously that, in your opinion, there aren't too many videos, but I will be interested in seeing if anybody starts to decide that we're trying to throw too many things in the kitchen sink at a Giving Day. I'm not suggesting that you're there. I think you're a good example of how we need to kind of tease a couple of different themes and purposes and ideas, and to me that's a great combination. Are you still in the wedding photo business? I can give you a plug here.
Nope. I started that in the recession right out of college, and somehow it followed me all the way until the day I decided to leave DC. But no, I'm never going back to the wedding industry.
Well, you make a compelling case that a good annual giving director ought to have video production in their background these days. And so it's good to know that you've gotten video firmly entrenched at what's going on up there. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for sitting in with this. Okay, let's see. I got to get my friend Kaylin in here. And
so students.
She's next. Kaylin, are you still there, or have you, has the echo driven you away?
I am here.
Okay, so like I said at the intro, I am not trying to horn in on ThankView's ACT, and a lot of their content, but certainly not all their content, is person to person. I think that's really what's driven their popularity as a solution for a lot of us. So I asked JD and Kaylin if they couldn't provide me with a couple of person to person examples, all slightly different in their own way. And I'm going to let Kaylin walk through what we're looking at. Am I given the echo now? You think I would learn how to do this? Tell me, do you recognize that video? That's,
I do. That actually is the woman that plays the mother on Malcolm in the Middle. If you all recognize her, I think it's Jan something. Actually, this was, so in our technology, what's kind of interesting is when you send videos, you have the option for your donors to reply back to you. And so actually quite a few people get sort of thanked by their donors and get to collect sort of like user-generated thank yous, which is very cool. So this is actually a response video in response to a video that she received that was thanking her. And she sent like a really lovely video back. So it's kind of her claim to fame. Her and I think Octavia Spencer are the two that we've had sort of acknowledged getting outreach from their alma mater. Oh, spoiler alert, excuse me. So Bob picked the famous ones, but yeah, it's great to see. It's really nice to have that two-way dialogue on video. So it's just a really heartfelt message from her.
So let's take a look at that. I probably should have put this example last as the reciprocal video that you send a nice personal thank you to a donor and what do you know, they send a video back in reply. So that's the context of this too. But let's take a look at this celebrity. This is from the University of Wisconsin.
Well, hello, Ada. I can't tell you how happy I was to get your message to me today. I was just recording my message to the class of 2020, Bucky and I were, to send for graduation tomorrow. And with all your beautiful long hair, Ada, I found a photograph of me when I was a junior at Madison, and I thought I just might share it with you. See all that hair? Remind me of you? Except I had little wire rim glasses, and you have very studious-looking horn rims. But yes, that was me, a junior in Madison, Wisconsin. It was probably about 77. And anyway, thank you very much for your message. And I love supporting the University of Wisconsin. And I could not have chosen a greater place to go to school. It has shaped so much of me in my life and in my career. And it has given me my best friends. My friends Marcy Freeman, Mary Vanderleest, Tracy Gamble, David Vianello, and Tom Lindblade, all from Madison, are still my best friends today. So I was happy to hear from you, and get in touch with me anytime. Okay, goodbye. This is Jane Kesmarek, Ada. Goodbye. Class of 9.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, they're a little more time intensive, but certainly you could collect via like Dropbox or Google Drive. A lot of people use that. I've heard David from Totino Gray said he sort of just like had them uploaded and cut them together in iMovie. Totally option for sure. And definitely just encourage you guys to continue involving those voices. That's really creates like sort of an impactful narrative across your institution.
So first of all, that couldn't have been more of a shameless plug. And second of all, I've now got Octavia queued up. So say a quick word about her.
Yeah, so Octavia also received a thank you from her alma mater from the theater department. Spoiler alert, she did go to the theater department, so succeeded in that. And this is just the Alumni Association sort of outreach to her. And yeah, this is just her being... she shared this just being like, thank you so much. We just really appreciated getting this. And hers was not a video reply. Hers was, in fact, just a tweet of the video sort of saying, this was excellent and I loved receiving this.
Well, watch this and tell me if you agree with me that she must be flagged for a major gift ask sometime soon. This is the birthday wish from Auburn University to Octavia Spencer.
Hi, Octavia Spencer.
What a pleasure to be able to reach out to you today.
We are all students at the Auburn University's Department of Theater, and we heard you had a special day coming up.
So we wanted to take this time to reach out and share with you something special for your special day.
We hope the following brightens up your day, and we hope you know that we are proud to call you a part of our Auburn Theater family.
Happiest of birthdays.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Octavia. Happy birthday to wonderful, fabulous, lovable you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And many more. War Eagle.
So, Kaylin, I apologize. You are not shameless. That is shameless. You know, you could have the Glee Club film one happy birthday rendition and just sort of make it available to send everybody. I bet people already are.
Yeah, actually, I just saw the chat question come through. Oh my God, how do you scale this up? You do not say the name Octavia when you sing Happy Birthday is the major key there. You actually just include in the text Happy Birthday, Octavia, and you have them sing at once. That is how you scale that. But yeah, we do recommend actually, there's some other tips and tricks. You can also say, if you have a lot of Johns, very easy to say, hello, John, and select all the Johns.
Happy birthday, John.
There's Happy Birthday, John. There's definitely some shortcuts you can use.
Happy birthday, John. You could overdub it.
You could try to
Okay.
dub that.
Let's see. Actually, I closed let me go jump into the slideshow and launch that and then go back in that way. I hope you all are seeing progress in my ability to learn how to actually do this. Let's see what we've got queued up. Illinois College. Kaylin, does that ring a bell?
It does.
This is a one-to-one appeal. This is a fundraiser at Illinois College asking a specific person for a gift.
Hi, Bill. This is Chloe Luca, Illinois College class of 2014 and the Director of Development and Alumni Relations. Thank you for the impact you have had on the lives of Illinois College students with your past support. When you go all in for IC on Wednesday, March 11th by making a gift to the IC Fund, you can help even more students gain access to scholarships, hands-on learning, and faculty support. All gifts on Wednesday, March 11th will be doubled by a dollar-for-dollar match provided by a group of generous donors. We are so grateful for your $1,000 gift you made to the college last year and hope you will consider making a gift of $1,250 this year to the IC Fund. There is no better time to show your support. Please visit the link below to make your gift today, and thank you for going all in for IC.
Right, you weren't kidding about the Mickey Mouse ears on the wall. They were really there.
Oh, very specific. Yeah. No, actually the amazing thing is we actually get a lot of this. So in our technology, there's a button called the action button to take follow-up steps. So in fact, she called that out, but we also get a lot of click the button below, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I really think again, like people kind of ask us what makes a great video all the time. And to be honest with you, it's authenticity. So if you have like the bang that happened in the UCLA health video, like the early video of the guy, just talking to the camera. I mean, that's actually, it's very human, and it kind of speaks to the fact that you're just really making a personal video on the spot. So it's not a bad thing. You don't always have to go Octavia Spencer level.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the video with the Mickey Mouse ears hanging on the wall will not win a CASE award. But that doesn't mean it's not more effective from a fundraising point of view.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. Well, I think we've got one more from you guys that I want to get to. The Flint Hill School. Does that ring a bell? Yes, you know what that is? That's the guy giving donors just an update on the latest good things going on at the Flint Hill. Did you help with this, or did I go find this on my own?
You may have seen it before. Yeah, this is it's very similar to which was shown from UCLA Health, kind of like actually showing the campus experience. This is actually a follow-up to people that donated for a building. So it's just him sort of showing off on campus what's going on with the construction. So just bringing people as an update to what's going on with where they donated with their campaign.
So video is a stewardship tool beyond just saying thank you to the donor, but sort of extending the relationship, right? And reminding people that we value their gifts and value their interest and value their relationship. So let me jump into this one so you can see this.
Hey Aaron and Tara, it's Taylor. I wanted to share with you an amazing updates on the Peterson Middle School and how far it's come since groundbreaking in May.
Now we have the electric saw noise in the background.
I want to personally thank you for bringing all of this to life for our students and let you know that everyone at Flint Hill truly appreciates your support. Keep a lookout for email updates on more progress. Thank you.
Very nice.
Hey Aaron and Tara.
So you almost get the impression that you recommend to your clients that they have wind noise in the background and buzz saws in the background. You really go all out for the organic feel to it, don't you?
Yeah, it's funny how much we actually do encourage you to be in a quiet space if possible. But if not, again, like it's more about getting it done. And we know that so many people are really in small shops, strapped for time, don't have the time to create like a professional studio environment. And so don't feel like that should discourage you. Obviously, we have many customers that are doing just what you saw and finding success. And it's really more about just taking the first step and diving into video and kind of using it.
It's terrific what ThankView has built. You know, I showed you my history. I go back to that guy at Assumption College telling his classmates to give, and I wish I had thought of ThankView as a business right then and there. But that's a tip of my hat to the good stuff that you guys have going on. I am going to mention a few more examples that you don't have to have a ThankView to successfully do, but it's certainly worth appreciating how you guys have streamlined a lot of things through what you've put together. And that guy, JD. So thank you for sitting in. I really appreciate it, and good examples. And there's more of that to come tomorrow when JD is talking. Okay. This is, I don't have a video here to show, but, and this is an awkward transition coming right on the heels of the ThankView samples, but this is Dominican University of California. They've essentially created their own ThankView, you know, by having a shared directory that has a bunch of pre-filmed, and you know, we were joking about thank you, John, and thank you, Bob, but that's essentially what they've done is film their own catalog of thank you videos. So I've already given a big compliment to ThankView, but again, for my small shops in the audience who may sometimes wonder how we have enough staff time and resources and how we have the budget, there are some solutions out there. And the team from Dominican that was behind this is actually in another session going on right now, talking about their direct mail program with the guy from BCG Connect. So that's the reason they're not here sort of telling their own story. But I said I would give a shout out to them and the other sort of small shops listening in that there is some functionality you can find, you know, sort of cobbling together some of these pieces yourselves. Okay, then there's my friend Barb DeTurno from good old Menor, Ohio at Lake Catholic High School. And let me stop this and bring Barb into the conversation. How's Cleveland? Barb, good to see you.
Cleveland's great. Thanks, Bob.
So for anybody who doesn't know, and I don't know why most of you would, I'm a native Clevelander, and so is my wife. I was born on the west side of Cleveland. My wife was an east sider, which is a very unusual union to get a west sider and an east sider together. But we pulled it off, and I now spend exactly half of every holiday on the east side, right in Barb's backyard where Lake Catholic High School is. And Barb, I don't have I mean, we have a video of your Giving Day, but the reason that I wanted to bring you into the chat is that you debuted some live streaming as part of your Giving Day last year. And I've started to see that popping up at a lot of institutions, specifically around their Giving Day. And I still struggle with what to recommend. Do you do a full day of live streaming events? What if nobody hears it? You know, how do you promote it? How do you decide what content it is? Are you better off not even going there with it? So tell me the story. You guys, I think, pioneered one just in the past year, right? And are you sorry you did, or tell us the right way to do it?
Well, thanks, Bob. Our Giving Day is the beginning of December. And I'm at a Catholic high school, and we thought, what better of a way to try to pull at the heartstrings of those that we want to donate to us than to involve our students. So we have a media production class and our Cougar Broadcasting Network, where we literally have the kids have the availability of being able to you know, do their video announcements and do interviews and do all kind of good things. And so when we had our Giving Day, we talked to them about giving them the opportunity to really have a hands-on opportunity to interview alums, to interview faculty, staff, and other students, and to actually, as part of their media production class, to be able to make some homegrown videos to help us raise money. And it really did help us to be able to spotlight our students, and you know, that's who we're raising money for. So for our day, we actually had our broadcasting class do a full day of Facebook Live event. And that's just how we did it. So it was from 8 to 3. I felt like we were kind of in the middle of a telethon. We had storyboards up on the windows, and so they knew what was coming up next, and they were running around with cameras, and They had update boards, and it was just a really good opportunity for us. And we shared that information out with everybody through emails and social media. And we just got a great response from people saying it was so great. It was raw, and at times, you kind of went, ooh, but it was our kids doing their thing, and people appreciated it. It helps, for people to see what our kids are doing in school every day and some of the technology that we're trying to teach them.
I think I hear myself booming through your speakers, so I'll shut off your microphone while I ask you this question. Any advice? So if any of you miss live music like I do, I have learned over the last year that musicians have figured out how to do Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and I've given out more than a few Venmo tips in the last year just because I found somebody performing online, and they all seem to figure out Facebook Live and YouTube Live all at the same time. So if you think this is too acrobatic, it's not, and it has arrived along with a lot of this other technology. So, but Barb, my question to you is, was 8 to 3 the right amount of time? Could you get away with less? Should you be doing a 24-hour live stream marathon? And can you say a little bit about how you even alerted people to the fact you were doing it? What does 2.0 in live streaming look like?
Because we were using high school kids, our 8 to 3 was basically around their school day.
Yeah.
So that was their time. And we've done it a couple of different ways. Actually doing it full time that entire time is a little much for kids. So we've also done it where we've taken pockets of time where it might be 20 minutes of an hour where it was live, and then we filled in the other time with videos that the students had produced, just doing some other things to give them the opportunity to take a breather and figure out what they were doing as well too. When we did it total full time, it was rough. The kids were feeling like they really were seeing what it might be like to actually be running live TV like that.
Yeah, so thank you, and kudos to you all for having the nerve to say, let's give that a try, because that's not simple, is it? And to anybody else out there, I'm noticing a steady stream of video links in the chat, so thank you for that. And this question too, I think there's some there with live stuff. I think Notre Dame in particular, I think is doing live stream all day tomorrow, because at least a couple years ago, St. Patrick's Day was their giving day. And so they had wire-to-wire coverage of stuff going on campus. So I'm curious about what's the right sizing of all this. But if it's another one of those things that in the past year has just hurried sort of the implementation of this kind of thing. Let me make one quick jump back into I know we're running out of time, but I think I'm just about done. Live streaming was one of the last things I wanted to talk about, and there's a good Lake Catholic video there about their Giving Day that mentions live streaming, and I think that's the last of the slides, and I finished right on time. Any other questions, put them in the chat and I'll respond to them. Kaylin has been shamelessly promoting wire to wire this whole time. So she'll have to answer to that. JD will have to answer for that. But all good quality stuff. I sort of feel like I have a little bit of responsibility to everybody else who's trying to sort out video the best way they can, but all good ideas. Failing any other questions and knowing that I have to make sure the next breakout sessions all get up and moving in 17 minutes, I'll say thanks to Kaylin. Thanks to all my friends who chimed in from all the far corners of the country, really, with the examples of the videos that they're using. I really think this isn't my last video sample sharing session. It's my first video sample sharing session. But thanks to all of you for pushing the envelope and helping me think through. One more thing before I go. If you don't have one of these, this is a gimbal. And if you're a small shop, you need to get one of these. You put your phone in it so that it gives you a good steady shot if you're stuck sort of being like the wedding videographer yourself and producing things. Gimbel, one of the nicest things I've bought this past year, and it's added quality to my video without doing anything else different. Okay, I'm up out of time. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the conference. See you all.